Allah, the compassionate and merciful, aka Questman, coming at you with another live soul journey of life for conscious black social media. Let's see here. Sister, I'm going to mute this tab just for a second. Let's see. All right. Okay, beloved family, once again, we are at another live, and let's see here. It's 8:30 in my area. I know many of you may be a little busy right now. This being a Saturday night, there's no telling what you're doing on a Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. But I come with some objectives here, and hopefully we can get a little bit more viewing going on because there's a lot of important things that I would like to break down. Shalom, welcome, come in. Make sure that you let me put the banner up too, just as a reminder. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and share, because we definitely want to get today's communication out. We've got some very big things happening. Another effort to unify, another effort to, for the family to get together, another opportunity for the family to get together. Yes, shalom. And today, we're going to welcome again here shortly, Sister Omo Yamoja, and hopefully we'll be able to break down further what we have in store. Let's see here. So that's why I'm kind of eager to get more, people up in here so we can break bread, and I don't have to repeat myself. Although I don't have to repeat myself, they can always play this back. But try to keep this simple. So, as you can see on this banner on your screen right now, there's a date and there's a title. The title is Conscious Camping, April 8th to April 10th. So we're going to be dealing with that, and I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I can do this right. Not too much of a problem. I'm going to put this over here so it's out of the way. And we're going to welcome our sister. Let me unmute that. And hopefully we'll be able to break down what I'm talking about. Give me a second here. I'm just rearranging the windows here. Yeah, we definitely want to get other people up in here so that way those that are about that business can lend an ear. All right, so let me go ahead and welcome the sister in here, and hopefully you're not having any technical issues. Okay, let's go from this side. Let's do this right. So I gotta make sure the sound's on. Okay, first of all, believing that you can hear me, so I'm going to say salam, peace and blessings, dear Sister Oyo. Make sure you click that mic. Yep, click that mic icon there.
Can
There
you
we
hear
go.
me now?
Yes, indeed, loud and clear. All right, so we welcome back Sister Omo, and as you can see, we're on the Soul Journey of Life platform. I wanted to do it this way because some of the elements of discussion are also uh, visible on this site. Now, I'm aware that many of you may not have an account on Soul Journey of Life, but if you do, make sure you check it out because you're going to want to check it out after you hear what we talk about today. See, one of the things that I've been trying to emphasize is that we got to do more than just talk about it, right? We got to do more than just be at this desk or be at our microphones, be on these YouTubes and whatnot. We got to get up and get out and do stuff together. You understand? My complaint has always been that many of us are in different states. We're here, there, and we. I don't think we're doing enough to get together to be able to create bonds of community, of nation building, of togetherness, black unity, all these things that we talk about. And what better way to do that than to have things that we do together? Thus the name conscious camping. Conscious because we're conscious about ourselves, what we're doing, and also about of surviving together as a people and as individuals. So come on in and let us deal with this because we only have so much time to prepare. Today is the night of February 12th. Well, April 8th is not too far away. Um, Now I'm going to open the floor to our sister to try to break down a little bit more of what I'm talking about, if you would. And while you're doing that, let me see if I can put in the screen at the same time this flyer. Actually, we'll do it another way because the flyer is on the website. So first, let's uh what's going on? What can you tell the viewers about this conscious camping? Backup plan because you never know. How's
That
it?
sounds better.
Yes, indeed. I got this mic
That
right.
sounds really. That sounds way better.
If I always figure if this doesn't work, I don't know what to do. I tap out. All right. No, I don't tap out. I don't give up. All right. So come on in, family. Like I said, share. Get folks that that are trying to do something, that are tired of just the dialogue. I mean, yeah, this gets monotonous when the majority of what we see going on in the black community is YouTube. And we're probably, I don't know. I got to see the numbers. I want to see the numbers of who's the most dominant YouTubers on YouTube. I wonder if it's us. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying that we've got to be more than just this,
Right.
and we have an opportunity coming, as you can see on the screen, in on the activity panel here, or the endeavor panel, I should say. You can see that we have a flyer. I'm going to scroll down, and this is what the flyer looks like. Click read more so I can expand it. Um, the flyer says make your plans for survival this spring, April 8th to 10th. Soul Journey of Life collaborates with Segment of Survival to present Conscious Camping. Message the admin, Soul Journey of Life, for more details, or hurry and get your spot locked in by following this link, Soul Journey of Life support the cause, and be sure to complete the form for Conscious Camping, Davidson River, Pisiga National Forest, North Carolina. Okay, so make sure you go ahead and take a look at this website, or you could just go straight to that link. In fact, I can put the link into the chat here, so it's easier for y'all to get a hold of. And this is
if you don't, like I said, if you don't have a Soul Journey of Life account, that's all fine and good as well. You can still support the cause and participate with this. And I can tell you, there are a lot of perks. There's some perks, with those who um, lock in their ticket today, or the sooner the better, I should say. Make sure you lock in your ticket because, as I said, we're getting closer and closer to April 8th, and we want to make sure that at least by the first week of April, we have sufficient head count, efficient number of tickets that have been sold, and spots locked in for the family. So get the word out there because, again, this is another opportunity for us to come together and participate together, get to know one another, you understand, in a way that builds us up as a people, as a family. You understand? That way, when we say family about, black family, we're actually being family. Um, and not just in any kind of random or vain way, but in a constructive way, in a way that builds us up and helps to prepare us, mentally, for the realities that we live in right now. Okay, our sister's back. If you want to carry on.
So yeah, sure. I mean, this is an opportunity for us, all to come together and learn outdoor survival skills. I mean, there's a lot of people that have never even been camping before, so to kind of get that experience and also to go hiking, so people can get a feel of what it would be like to kind of trek through different terrain, and just build up that endurance and just share my experiences with you guys, as far as what we need to be doing outdoors to survive. And bonding as well. That's where the consciousness comes in. That is just getting together with like-minded people, um, and bonding. And let's start, building our own bug out groups. So if something does happen, we have a network that we can all link up with and survive together. So that's what this is about.
Yes, indeed. And one thing I can add to that is, see, here's the thing. Um, Many of us, we're used to a comfort zone. We're used to, our own town, our own street, our own home, and you know, we're often we're the kind of people that like to just take it easy. Follow the path of least resistance. Okay, but we're in a time where we have to be willing to get up and take on these challenges. We've got to be willing to get up and do more. Now, I've had events before with the effort of bringing people together, and while there was some success, there was also some elements that could have been better. You understand? Because we need to realize that this is real, and I understand that many of us are in different states. You understand? You know, Texas, Georgia, Ohio, New York, you name it. We're all over the place. But we have to be willing to have that type of motivation to say, look, here's another opportunity for me to get together with my people. You understand? And just as the sister said, to take on these survival characters, these survival traits, and come together and let's break bread in real time, in an active fashion, and not just a bunch of lecturing and whatnot. But let's come together and actually do something. You see the screen right there. I think I can make it bigger. There we go. You see the screen right there? Conscious camping. Davis is at Davison River, Pisiga, North Carolina, National Forest, North Carolina. You see it right there. You see the date. Again, this is a major collaboration with Segment of Survival and Soul Journey of Life. This is the itinerary. This is just a basic rundown of what we expect to achieve. So if you are one of those that have been looking for a reason to get up off of your couch and get out and do something in support of your people, and something that can build you up and that can just give you that inspiration. You might find something in this experience that you couldn't find just sitting on your sofa. So go ahead and make sure that you go. I'm going to put the site in here again. Let me go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to put the yeah. You see the link in the chat there. It's already there. So make sure you click that link in the chat and get your ticket together. When you click that link, it'll take you to a tab where you will see conscious camping. Make sure you make your payment and everything. When you make your payment, you'll and you provide your information and whatnot. You'll definitely be contacted to make sure that we got a good head count, because we want to have a good head count of all the participants, everybody involved. It'd be nice to see a very significant showing. You understand? Again, I'm one of those that has faith in us. You understand? I'm one of those that believe in us, that we're not failures, that we're not losers, that there are those amongst us who really want to see solutions in our life. I mean, yes, indeed. Shalom, Alessi, welcome. Many of us, we really want to see solutions. We just had yet another, act of police brutality. You understand? With brother Amir. I mean, just like the lady was saying that was among the protesters, when is this going to end? You understand? When are these things going to end? But see, let me remind you that each of these situations often happens in isolated scenarios where the people are by themselves. You understand? And we got to find out through a camera or something somewhere. You don't really see this happening when we're in numbers, when we're together. I mean, you could look on YouTube, see if you can find anything where there was some brutality, where there was 5 or more people. You understand? You don't see it like that. So what I'm saying here is there's benefit in us coming together. And if this can mean anything to you by me saying this might be a chance to knock off some of the nervousness that we have, because we're all strangers in a way, but we're all talking the same language. You understand? We're all talking about the same cause. You understand? So knock off some of that nervousness, come together. you know, a camp situation. This is a natural situation. So this is a natural environment for all of us to be in the same locality. You understand? Focus on the same agenda and making this happen. You wanna add anything to that, sister?
I mean, just apart from the brutality, I mean that's not going to end.
Right.
It's just not. And we would be naive to sit here and keep expecting, like, the definition of insanity is when you literally keep doing the same things, expecting a different outcome. Like, it's not going to end. This country was founded on brutality. The fabric, I mean, it's in a social fabric. It's not going to end. If you look at what's happening in Canada with the truckers that have gone on strike, and they've blocked the roads, and you look in your grocery stores, and I know the grocery store by me, they were like, oh, this is one of the low inventory stores. No, it's not. The truth of the matter is there is like the food shortage is getting worse.
Yeah.
And that truck strike that is happening in Canada is soon going to also happen
Oh
here.
man.
And then what happens? What are we going to do when all the trucks stop? You're not going to get any Amazon, and I shop from Amazon. I'm guilty. But nothing, everything is you're not gonna get groceries. You're gonna go in the grocery store, and you're gonna see more empty shelves. And if you thought it was bad trying to find tissue,
Yeah.
you're not prepared for any of these things. Like, what are we going to do? You're literally going to be, a sitting duck, like we said last week. You're gonna be a sitting duck. So why not, do something that's fun and a bonding experience, and get out there, just so like people can kind of get a feel of what it is to like be out in nature and kind of camp out. Now, you won't be in extreme cold weather, because by then it should be kind of like tapering off and getting warm. It's actually going to be in spring break season, so it will be pretty decent weather. It should be comfortable for most people to come out and just get that experience. before we're all sitting around and there's no groceries in the stores and all hell is breaking loose and you got this one right. That's when the looting and the rioting and the raiding is going to start. Yeah. I'm telling you, because there's going to be a lack of resources. And if we don't get together now and get strength in numbers, if you're just sitting at home by yourself, you're going to be an easy target for somebody to just come up in your house and take whatever it is you have. Like, it's going to literally come to that. There's so much going on in the world that if we don't start acting now, you know, by the time, you know, the community does react, it might be too late.
Yeah. And the thing is, family, you know, she's definitely right about what she's saying. I mean, like she mentioned about the truckers, you know, already, even before these truckers, you know, started doing their protests and whatnot, if you walk in like your you know, your everyday grocery store, Walmart or places, look at the shelves. You understand? Look at the shelves and look at how some of the major items are not there any longer. You got whole spaces where water used to be, or, you know, just different types of essentials used to be, and they're empty. And all you have is just like condiments and miscellaneous items that, you know, people don't purchase as often. You understand? These are warning signs, red flags that people need. I mean, you got make countries that are basically squaring up. I don't know if if any of you guys ever been in a fight before, but there's only so many words you can say before you know, people start going to blows. You understand? And that's what's happening now. I mean, you know, let me just say it like this. Like they say in the old times, you know, you don't draw your gun unless you're going to use it. You got two major countries that have now put themselves in a position where even they can't even save face, you know what I mean, and back out with honor. You know, they're in a situation where somebody's got to do something, because now that's just the kind of situation it is. So much smack has been talked, you can't back out of that.
And you know what, to be honest, it's not about, that's what people don't get. Like, it's not about saving face. Like when you look at your Ukraine and your Russia conflict, that is about, like, this is going to predate a lot of people's times. But back during the Cold War days, and I don't know if anybody remember in social studies or history learning about the Soviet Union, right? So Ukraine used to be actually a part of Russia's territory. But when the West came in and broke up the Soviet Union, when we came in and made the Soviet Union break up, they lost that territory.
Yes.
So by them making their stance at the Ukraine border, that's saying to the West, us,
yes,
and NATO, listen, y'all don't run nothing over here no more.
And we want that back.
and we want this back. They don't want Ukraine to join NATO. So they're keeping Ukraine from joining NATO. They want their territory back.
Yes.
And the same thing is with Taiwan. You got to look at this. It's chess. It's not checkers. You got to look at the plays that are going on. So you have Russia trying to reclaim Ukraine to rebuild the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
And then you have China. They don't want Taiwan establishing any kind of independence. Right now, Taiwan is still technically the Republic of China.
Yeah.
So Russia and China cannot, this is not just smoke and mirrors. Russia and China cannot lose those two territories to NATO. And NATO is pretty much controlled by the United States, right?
Yeah.
So this is their stance against us. We've gone into these different countries and told them how they should govern, and we can't even govern ourselves.
Right.
Us, right? And then you have Iran just, again, lying in the weights, just waiting for something. Listen, as soon as they get it popping, boom. How many fights can you really be in? You cannot be in all these different fights. And then once Iran jumps into the fight, then North Korea gonna be like, hey, did you forget about us? Right? We over here, and we are sitting over here. And the United States is, I posted up on my Instagram the other day how the United States is released a press release about domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
And that's why we do need to come together and start discussing and making our plans, because
Mhm.
understand they're watching this.
Right, right,
Want to see who's making a plan and who's going to be trying to go off grid, because if you go off grid, understand you're going against them. You're a
right.
problem. You're now an enemy of the state. And so this is why we need to get together and have these discussions in private together. This is not a discussion that we can have over YouTube, over the phone,
Right, right, right.
kind of
Bottom line.
social media black platform, whether it be black owned or not, because if it's over the internet, they can tap into that and they know everything.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I mean that's so Sister Leslie asked the $80 is for the 2 days, and the only thing that you would need to bring is a tent and a sleeping bag and you know something that you would want to eat. We're trying to provide meals if we get a big enough turnout, and we can do that. But whatever you don't have, I'm sure either myself or someone else out there might have.
Yeah.
So just
So,
make sure you have a tent and something to sleep on.
essential stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And I would say make sure that you lock your spot in soon, um, because we want to make sure, like I said, we want to make sure that we have a significant count. And the way this is laid out is we don't want to say limited spots. You understand? There's limited spots, so we want to make sure that you fill up all those limited spots before if it exceeds that, then we have other options. But right now we have a limited spot, so that's what I'm saying. Get your ticket right now, as early as possible. And I guess I could mention this too. There's, like I said, there's perks, and one of the perks that I'm going to just mention now, you'll see it in the flyer itself. Um, as you see, let me blow up this again. Itinerary is basic. This is a simple summary of it. You say Friday evening arrival, set up campsites. Friday late evening meet and greet around campfire. Saturday morning 9 a.m. hiking. Saturday afternoon, free time to explore and lunch. Saturday evening campfire, raffle giveaway. There'll be raffle tickets. So even when you get your tickets, you want to make sure that you hold on, to those things. And when come the end of that night, there'll be something, award, the awards or prizes or what you want to say. Then Sunday morning, break down a campsite and everybody go their separate ways. Hasta luego. A little bit more. And the thing is even there's just conversations, social conversations that you have at home that you feel more open to speak about than you would in the presence of strangers. Okay, so here we are with, like I said, with an opportunity, one, to break the ice. You understand? To break this ice of strangeness that we have. When Sister Okoti and brother Major and some other brothers, came to Cleveland, that broke a little bit of the ice of us not knowing each other except on these platforms. You understand? Now, we're familiar. So if I saw Major again, I'd be like, "Oh, hey, that's brother Major," or "Oh, that's Sister Okoti," or "Oh, that's brother so and so." So now if we and because we have network, we communicate. We've got contact. Now we're able to communicate. If we needed to do something, we can communicate it now. You understand, and be comfortable enough to have that type of conversation where we're not speaking to strangers. I mean, some of the brothers and sisters, we communicate, we talk, and really build bridges. Off of this social media. You understand? That's the type of mentality and experience we need to have more often. This is an opportunity to really dig in and bring in the home team together so we can have that type of real conversation that we need to be having and that real experience that we need to be having. So let's see here. And here's another thing. This isn't some kind of fairy tale thing here. This isn't some type of, if you're expecting like some type of, shock and awe, this isn't it. You understand? This is real life with real life things going. This is a real life event. This is a real life journey. You understand? In other words, don't expect some kind of, what do I want to say, uh, Las Vegas gifts or something. This is real. You understand? And we want to be able to attain a real life experience. You understand? See, a lot of times when we get on these YouTubes, people they want to be entertained. They want to be, many of us are babies mentally. When it comes to this black unification thing, many of us are mentally babies. We have this Hollywood idea about what this is all about. Excuse me. And the problem with that is as you see, lives are being taken. People are dying. Excuse me. Real things are happening in the community in 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 uh, in our community and abroad.
Not
See.
even, not even that. Let me just jump in.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, at the end of the day, there are prepper groups out there. There are groups out there that
Yeah.
are already training like for
Yeah.
bug out. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you 98% of them are not black. They're not. We are way behind the curve when it comes to this. Yes, there is. Now I am gonna say there are a lot of people of color that are coloring the trails. That's what they call it. They're out there, but there's no bug out groups. There's no. I don't see any survival groups within our community where people are regularly meeting up and bugging out at different locations, or trying to establish locations where we can go, where we can bug out safely if anything were to happen. Like, that's just not something that our community has. But guess what? Other communities have it. And I can speak on that because I belong to one. Um, I want to see something like that for our people. We do have to get out of our comfort zone.
Yes, indeed. I want to about what Sister Leslie is asking. Um, when all the detail when we get enough head count, all the details as far as what do I say, where we meet, um, and such, and then getting to the location, all those details we'll be building with directly, not here on YouTube. But so like what you're asking there, address all that. We will be, you'll be contacted, and we'll have this discussion directly off of YouTube. So because you got to remember, this is a public a platform, so we want to be able to communicate the essentials to you, and then we build on that, on the particulars, you know, off of the platform. Hopefully that makes some sense.
So
Let's.
to elaborate,
Mhm.
we do have the location, but as to the specific
Yeah.
campsite will be determined based off of how many people we get to sign up. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, if we have enough numbers, then yes, we will be able to provide like a specific campsite for
Yeah.
everybody to come and start meeting at, because we'll all be coming in at different times because we're coming from different places. So
Right. That what she said. So but the thing is Sister Leslie and the others that are viewing, that to whom this may concern, make sure you get the word out there to the family. You understand? Make sure uh, like, share, and subscribe, and get this to where we can get more participation from the family as possible, because we want this to be something that, an experience that once we, once all said and done, it's an accomplishment, and not just any kind of vain accomplishment, but one that actually has merit. You understand? That's what this is about. You understand? You know, doing more than we say, doing more than words coming out of our mouth. And we want to get in the habit of that. You understand? We want to get in the habit of not just having these one-time events, but anytime the call is out, you understand? Anytime the call is out, let us be of those who respond to it, whatever it takes. You understand? I understand many of us, we're on a budget, this and that, but think about it. How often do we do something like this together? You understand? So let this ticket, let this just be that one thing that yeah, you invest in it, you put some money into it, and have something that you feel solid about. It's not a loss. It's a win-win situation. So yeah, you definitely want to participate this if you're one of those who, again, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for those couch warmers. You understand? And desktop warriors. This isn't for any of that. This is for people who really want to do something, and it's another manifestation of what's in your heart, the boots on the ground of your heart. You understand what I'm saying? It's you making a statement about how you feel about your people. So just like I said, go ahead, lock in your ticket, and let's get this done. Let's do this. This is another opportunity. Um, let's see here.
I was just gonna add, so that people don't get discouraged as far as the cost. So when we do this event, yes, it's going to cost because obviously we're doing this as a group reservation. If we can establish our own network, like our own Bugout network or prepper network, or whatever how you want to call it, then when we'll go to different spots, then the only cost that you would have is obviously that campsite. If we're doing primitive camping, which means no access to restrooms or power, then primitive camping does not cost anything. But again, let's go ahead and establish our groups, because there are other groups that are already established out there. I could tell you, as far as my investments, the only thing that I've invested in is equipment. So when we talk about the giveaways, that's what the giveaways will be, like essentials, the equipment that you'll need outdoors, like basic essential survival equipment.
Yeah. Let's see here. What I'm showing you guys.
It might be nice if y'all want to go jump in and swim. The water is, if it's warm, I might jump in myself.
What I'm showing you, family, are just some of the images of what the campsite looks like. That's what you're seeing there. Okay, so we can close that. All right. So yeah, this is definitely another must do situation. Um, don't sleep on this. Wait till you get to the camp and then you can sleep a little bit. You know. But what was I going to say? Oh man, it just left my mind just like
Well,
like
while
that.
you're gathering your thoughts, I will just
Yeah.
add, so people
Hmm.
know, the hiking. The hiking trail is about 2.4 miles. If you do not want to participate in the hiking, then it is okay. We will need a few volunteers or a volunteer to just kind of watch over our tents at the campsite while a group of us do participate in the hiking. So just because hiking is on the itinerary, don't feel like you have to hike. You don't. This is just for conditioning, because if we ever don't have a car, we have to get from point A to point B and survive in the woods. You might want to know how you could trek through the woods in different terrain, rocky environments, because everything's not going to be all sidewalks and curbs. It's not going to be all flat. It's going to be muddy. It's going to be rocky. And this is just a conditioning and a nice experience to be out in nature, honestly.
Yes, indeed. And by the way, in case you guys, if you guys are wondering if there's things you wish you could, take with you on a trip like this and you don't have it, well, I would definitely recommend you take a look at secmettersurvival.com, which is what I'm looking at right now. A lot of good stuff. In fact, some stuff I'm thinking of. I was looking at these backpacks earlier.
Yes, a backpack. Like, I just had to upgrade my backpack because I'm
Mhm.
like, I need more stuff. But
Pretty nice.
essentials. At least have a backpack where you can pack, two. Let's see, will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 3 days of clothes. You always want to bring like an emergency change of clothes, just in case. I mean, you might slip in the mud. You know.
Right.
So I would say at least 4 days of outfits.
Let's
I
see
do the
here.
military roll and roll all my stuff up in the bag. Um, and first aid kit, you can get a cheap one from Walmart for like $9.99. What else would you want to have? A tent, obviously, a sleeping bag or a cot, whichever you prefer. They also do have blow up mattresses if you don't want to do a sleeping bag. Like I said, it should be kind of warm then. Um, and those are the basic essentials just to start off with. If you have an extension cord, like if you want to charge your phones or if you want to bring your laptop, there will be power out there. So you can bring like an extension cord so that you can have power in your tent. And there will be bathrooms and showers out by the campsite where we are going to be at. So
Hmm. Um, and what I'm looking at right now, of course, this is the shops on Soul Journey of Life, and I was just suggesting that if you don't have it, there's a few things you might want to check out here. We got we got different varieties of natural ingredient deodorants, lip balm, and even natural toothbrushes and whatnot. Um, just some things to take out. That's some sage right there that you see, some incense.
we could put that in the fire. Believe it or not. So if anybody doesn't like bugs, believe it or
Mhm.
not, you can put sage in your campfire and that will actually keep the bugs away.
Yes, indeed. So make sure you check it out. We got it right there. You see it. Nice price. Um, anyway, um, and a lot of natural good stuff on this site as well. But keep your eye on the goal. Keep your eye on the objective. Lock it in right now, family. Like I said, it's April. Oh, it's April. It's February 12th, or concluding February 12th right now. We've got till the first week of April to get everything in, so that way we have a clearer perspective of where we're going to take it, and also a clear perspective of who's who and who's going to be attending. So we want to make sure we get all that in within before the first week of April begins. Excuse me. Um, so right here you see on screen, this is if you go, like I said, if you click the link, it'll take you to this page, or if you log into your Soul Journey of Life account and then click the support the cause tab, it'll take you to this page, and of course you can continue supporting Soul Journey of Life if you'd like. But in this particular case, we're focused on this right here: conscious camping, uh, Davison River, Pissy Gut National Forest, North Carolina. And of course, you see the amount there, $80, or you can donate more if you'd like. Nobody's going to complain about that. Um, any that it definitely continues to help the cause. But the focus is on being able to hold down your spot so that way you can be among the participants. Um, and let's see here. I was going to think what I was trying to express was, I mean, we can express a number of that's what I was going to say earlier. That keep in mind, family, that while many of us have become acquainted with each other because of the standing up, the right to bear arms, and our representing the bearing of arms to protect ourselves and to protect our communities. This is a public national park that we're at. So I'm saying that to say that we're coming there, you know, in a civilian status. You understand? Mentally soldiers, but we're coming there in a civilian status. So make sure you keep that in mind that this is a public. This is a what do you want to call it?
It's a national forest. So
Yeah.
national forests are actually obviously governed by the government. Um, North Carolina, I believe, if you will need, if you intend to carry, and don't quote me, please do double check the laws. I used to live in North Carolina, so I'm fairly familiar with the gun laws. You can carry as long as you have a carrying license. Now, when it comes to government park, if it's managed by like the Army Corps of Engineers, you may not be able to carry. I will double check that information and pass that information on to you, Questman. I will let you know. But in North Carolina, full metal jackets, meaning if you have hollow points in your gun, you don't do it. um, full metal jackets if you are going to carry, but I will definitely I will check the gun laws, and I will get back to Questman with that information. My kids will be there, so I am going to say that this is a kid-friendly place, so head count is important, so we know how much food we need to get, and it is kid-friendly. My kids will be there, so if the kids want to do like their own like kid hiking group, I mean, they'll be with us, of course, but it is a kid-friendly event.
Yeah. And that's another emphasis on the fact that this is a family event. You understand? So hopefully, what you hear from the sister is an example of how you can present yourself coming to this event. You understand? Um, I think it's a good opportunity. If even if you have children of your own that you would think might benefit from this, I mean, and children get together, that's a whole nother level of interacting, because children respond to socialization different than us as adults. Because, like I said, when we see each other, like we're strangers, we're like we're it's an odd feeling, of meeting people you don't know that you've never seen before. But with children, that ice is broken a lot faster. You know what I mean? For the most part. I mean, you got some shy children here and there, but for the most part, when they're together, they jump right on in. You know what I mean? They see someone else their age, they jump right on in and start playing and having a good time. Then they don't forgot about the fact that they don't even know each other. They know each other now. So this is a good opportunity for family building on multiple levels. On multiple levels. So I mean, you know, again, opportunity to get up off your sofa, to get up and do more than just flip through the channels and flip through the websites and whatnot and the YouTube channels, and get out here and do something. You understand? Let's make this happen. Like I said before, let's make this happen. Let's make this, another moment that we can cherish, another moment that we can appreciate, that we can say we were a part of that when that happened. So, I can say that I'm going to put another link in the chat here, and this link will be to invite anybody that might have any questions. And of course, you can always put your questions in the commentary as well. But let me do this. So this is a link. Come in. If you have questions, this is the opportunity to present them. Mind you that this is Soul Journey of Life, the Conscious Black social media platform, which means that, whenever we present ourselves, we always present ourselves in a conscious way, a respectable, honorable way, because that's the kind of people we are. And so those that aren't on that page, this might not be the live feed that you want to watch right now. So, come on in. Let's hear what you got to say, because, like I said, our time before that first week of April is counting down, and we want to make sure we get a clear head count. Also, there are some benefits when you complete the form for your ticket. You're going to see that there's some benefits. I know the sister has some for her site for Soul Journey of Life. Make sure you get that code that you see at the end of the form when you get the thank you greeting, the Asante Sana greeting. Make sure you know, get the information at the end of the form because there's a code there for a $5 off ticket for the Soul Journey of Life shops. So make sure you check that out because, like I said, I want this to be something that there is okay. Let me say it this way. There was a part of me when I was discussing this with the sister. I'm like, well, maybe there's something that we should have or something. And then at the bottom line was the something is embedded in our experience rather than there always being some type of material give outs. Now, while you got the raffle tickets and everything going on, but try to dig in and see that there's more to gain than some kind of knickknack, some type of treat or trinket or something. You understand? Try to find your trinket, if you would, in this experience. You understand? You might find a moment where if you got your smartphone, wow, I mean, you understand? These are the things you take back with you. You understand? And the reason why these things are more important to take back with you because one is their learning experience, and they have more value when you go home because you've actually done something meaningful by this gathering, by coming together, getting to know one another, and doing these things together. You understand? Again, like we've already said it earlier, in these times, with the way things are going, we want to start taking things serious as opposed to mere entertainment. A lot of what we get, I mean, we're used to, it's like, think about it like this. When you get on a computer or your laptop or your phone, you're flipping through IG, you're flipping through YouTube, and most likely, you may come across some posts where somebody's posting about something that happened to one of us. But most of the time, you're looking for something to make you laugh or something to be nosy about. You just want to be nosy. You want to be in the business. But there's also that part of us that wants to really do something that matters. And that sometimes means we have to put down the phone and get out and experience the real life. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, me talking, right? Watching a YouTube video, and it was basically breaking down like what could happen, theoretically speaking, if let's say a solar flare hits the earth and the internet goes off for about what did it say, 40 days. 40 days without internet all over the world. How would the world be? What would the world do? How would people respond? And it really broke it down on some real, thoughtful stuff. I'm gonna try to look for it here. Maybe I can share a little bit of it. But the point that I'm trying to put out here is we've got to wake up and deal with reality as it's coming at us. You understand? And realize, some of the things that we take for granted for entertainment and luxury and whatnot, it's not always going to be there for us. You understand? What are you going to do? How are you going to live? Can you live in a more simplified way if push came to shove? Even now, are you even prepared? Do you even have anything that if Walmart shut down, if the, like I said, let's say these trucks, they're not going home anytime soon. But let's say the end result means that there is nothing for Amazon to sell. There is nothing for Walmart and Sam Club to sell. Are you prepared to respond to that, or will you be amongst the first to tap out because your refrigerator is empty, your storage units are empty, you don't have nothing stacked up, you don't have nothing in reserves? I'm just saying, these are, like I said, these are real things to think about. So, any thoughts on what I said here?
I'm just gonna go ahead and I will also add, with the group that I belong to, it's mandatory that we participate, or you're not in the group at all. There are no knickknacks. It's just a network of like-minded people that want to survive. And what I get from it is I get survival skills, right? That's what I get to learn, survival skills. I get to, be a part of the group to where if something was to happen, I already have a core group where I can be safe
Yeah.
and know that me and my kids will be, safe. It would be nice for our own community to have something like that. And I believe like that this is what that's what my goal is. I want us to have our own bug out prepper group,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. The essence that I'm getting out of this is at, in our struggle to have our own, our own element that you're speaking of are the things that matter most to us, the essentials of living. You understand, to be able to and I say this on a tech note too, in a similar voice, when I'm talking about the fact that we need um, to be investing in things that increase our security as a community, that increase our awareness of events going on around us locally and abroad. We need to increase our intelligence, um, and just we really need to reform our whole, if not, I won't even say reform, but revolutionize our whole way of operating. Because, like I said, many of us are so far from uh, the goal, or just being aware of the goal. You understand, being aware of the realism of this. I mean, I'm serious. If you ever had a conversation with many of us, they don't have a slightest idea of what's going on, and some even get offended when you start talking about black unity and things like that, because to them it's it's like they feel like you're belittling other people. I said, no, we're not belittling anybody. We're trying to we're striving to wake us up so that way we can, when we're talking about so what is our main talk, that we want to be treated equally. When we see other people across the world, able to unify, and knowing who they are, you know what I'm saying, embracing their culture, embracing their traditions, and here we are broken up in so many different pieces. Many of us haven't the slightest clue of who we are, any of that, and we want to be able to wake up out of that. You understand, and to be able to stand on the ground as equal with anyone else. Nobody's trying to, this isn't a I'm better than you, or something like that type of scenario. This is a type of scenario where we want to survive and exist just like anyone else. So, did you have something? I don't know if I cut you off.
No, that's it. This isn't this isn't no. If I'm not trying to monetize or anything, I want to build a network of like-minded people that if anything were to happen, we can figure out a way to get to one another so that we can survive together.
Yeah. And see, look, family, look at the world. Look. I'm not talking about the drama that's happening in the world as far as the war and all that, but look at the people in the world. Look at the different communities in the world, and look at what's happening. If you if anybody has any sense, you could tell that there's something greater going on in the world. And everybody, that has any kind of understanding, they're playing their role. Now, here, in this country, we keep speaking the same language. We know exactly what we need to be doing right now because we keep saying it. We keep having the same. I mean, literally, if you go across YouTube of if you type in like some of the common things like Black Unity, self-determination hashtags, you're going to come across a common series of conversations where basically we're literally having the same talks. I mean, if we were able to take out words and search through each of our conversation, how many times each of us are saying the same sentences, I mean, without even knowing each other, you'd be surprised at how common this is. So we know, many of us know. Um, but the thing is, like I said before, we need to start breaking these walls down between us, breaking this ice, and we need to start participating in things like this and coming together. It doesn't always have to be about something dramatic that has to happen for us to come together. You understand? We also have to mentally and physically and even spiritually prepare ourselves. You understand? So that when the drama happens, we're better able to respond to it. It's not always about just going out and protesting. You understand? We got to do stuff too. You understand? We have homework to do. We've got to actually get down on the ground and train ourselves and prepare ourselves as well. You understand? This way, when it comes to anything that goes on in our life, we have the quality, we have the skills to deal with it. Right now, many of us don't have the skills to deal with it. We don't have any know-how or know about to deal with any of this. Here's an opportunity to change that. So, as I said, make sure you go ahead. You saw the link earlier, the support the cause link, and click that link and make sure you hold down your ticket. Make sure you hold down your ticket. Um, let's see here. We don't have anything, but We are coming together to get in a place. Yeah, I mean, we're working with what we have. We're working with what we have, but we have to be. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, it's like you said. I mean, you can pull up 10 different YouTubers and everyone's saying, "Oh, we need to do this and this is what you need and you should have this, this, and this." But what are we doing? Are we getting together? Are we getting together and bugging out outdoors or going? What are we doing? We're not doing anything besides talking about what we need to be doing.
Right.
And me, I mean, I would rather learn the skills now so when something does happen, I can just, okay, this is what I need to do. Load up my car. I got this. My kids, they have this. Like everyone has what they need and we can just go.
Yes, indeed. So, I think we got the essence of the message out. The bottom line is we need to make sure you like, share, subscribe, but share this. Get your friends. Not just everybody that's watching YouTube, but get up off your couch, break bread with your family. You understand? Bring your family. Get tickets for them. And communicate with your friends, those so get people to get up off the couch. You understand? We gotta, I'm telling you, we gotta shake this stuff off of us. We gotta shake this. There's a term for it. It's like a kind of stagnation, like a oh man, I can't think of it right now. But we gotta shake it off. Get up, get this ticket. Let us do stuff. Let us come together and do stuff that matters, not just any random stuff. You got Disneyland, you got Cedar Point, you got all these places if you want entertainment. But let's come together and do something that matters. You understand? That's the better investment. So let's see here. I'm just looking at the time out for talk.
Yes.
It's time for action.
Sister Leslie. Yes, you get it. I mean, as far as the generation behind us, Sister Leslie, it's like this. Listen, everybody ain't gonna be able to come with us. Let's just get that out of our head right now. Like everybody's not going to be able to come with us. You're going to have some people that are like, I don't want to leave my house, or, I want to go back. I miss sleeping at, okay. This is not, it's okay. This is not for you. So
exactly.
This is about getting together with people that are like-minded and that are on the same, like, we're trying to survive out here,
Yes, indeed. Let me, what did I do? Okay. Stop sharing that screen now. Okay. So, I believe that the point has been made. Like I said, make sure when you go to that site, complete the form completely. You can even put in the comment. You understand? If there's more information or whatnot that you need, make sure you ask. You can message. You can communicate with me through Soul Journey of Life That's one way you can communicate with me. Also, I will put up the company email because you can communicate with me that way as well. Give me just a second to get a hold of it.
And then also, I mean, if anybody has any questions on what they should be bringing, or, I got this, should I bring it? Please feel free, follow me, and DM me, and I will help. I want to help my people.
So here's the email that you can use if you're not able to communicate with me on Soul Journey of Life. I think I got all. Yeah, it's spelled right. So that's the email. Now, and just what I would say, if you come with high expectations, let the high expectations come in the sense of the benefit of us coming together to do this at all to begin with. Again, this isn't a what do you call that, like a celebrity contest, or this isn't some kind of thing for to become famous or something like that. This is something that's meant to be real to you. You understand? A real experience to you. It's not a popularity contest. That's the term I was trying to use. This isn't a popularity contest. This is a get together as a people type of thing. You understand? That's what this is. And to do something real is something that's actually meaningful for ourselves and beneficial for ourselves. So, let's see here. Now, you gave them. You said the contact you have.
They can email me, or they can DM me on Instagram. I'm on your platform as well. Just reach out if you have any questions as far as what you should bring.
And the name that you see right there, Segment of Survival. Well, I guess you don't see it, do you? Well, the name that you'll see, Segment of Survival. That's her. Let's see. That's the website right there at the bottom. But that name, Segment of Survival, is her IG as well. So it's her IG is also her account, her thing on here, as you see.
Right.
Soul Journey of Life. Same thing there. So that's how you can contact us. So either one of us will be able to assist you if there's any questions or comments or concerns. The other reason why we want to make sure that we get this down is because, like I said, that we want to get this down before April 1st, because we want to make sure that we're all able to meet up in a prompt and a timely way, and that everything flows fluidly. And when you have everything, all your ducks in order, so to speak, it makes the experience better. But compared to if everything is all random and haphazard, we don't want nothing like that. We want this to be a smooth
Let's
experience.
just add, let's not, please, do not wait until April 1st. Understand, we're heading into spring break, and camping, that this is a peak season for campers. Okay, so while we're behind the curve in camping, certainly others are not. So the sense of urgency is, don't wait till April 1st, because you might not have a place to pitch your tent.
Exactly.
Okay, this is a high demand season that we're trying to do this in. It's not like it's the dead of winter where people aren't really trying to be camping. This is the middle of spring break. It's North Carolina, like around Asheville in the mountains, around the most beautiful waterfalls. And this is one of their prime locations where they like to go. So let's not wait until the last minute and then we find out, only 10 people signed up within the first 2 weeks. And then on April 1st, we find out 50 people want to go. Okay, well, yeah, where the other
Right.
go at,
And can you break down to them one more time just the basic essentials that they will want to have with them upon arrival, that they want to take, make sure they packed up, they're ready to go, and this is what they have with them when they come. What do they need?
So, I mean, have a tent. Okay. You can have a tent, you can have a blow up mattress or a sleeping bag with whatever is more comfortable for you. They even sell like the little cots, you know, in Walmart. A cot, a sleeping bag. Some people listen, if you want to sleep in a hammock, sleep in a hammock. There are options. You don't even have to get a tent. You can actually get a hammock where you can, you know, hang them in between the two trees and sleep in that and not have to, you know, get a tent. But essentially a tent, sleeping, something to sleep on. And what you want to pack in your backpack is, you know, your toiletries, you know, your clothes, first aid kit. Um, Please have some good hiking shoes, either some sneakers or, you know, or some boots.
Yes.
A water bottle so that you stay hydrated. Hydration packs. They look like little hydration bags with the little water tubes, and you can just put them in your book bag
Yeah.
instead of having water bottles. Um, if you want trekking poles, you know, if you're old like me, up there in you might need a little help sometime. Trekking poles help to shift the weight off of your legs. Um, those are the essential. A flashlight, you know. My tent has a LED light in it. You might want a lantern so you can see at night. But if you don't have one, you know, someone else out there might have something that you don't have. This is what this is about. This is about us. This is about us pulling together our resources. So I might have something that you might not have, and it's not really, you know, unless you really want to have it for yourself, you know, you can get it. But I might have it. Like
Yeah.
I have a little portable heater. You know, if it is kind of cold, and you can't wait for fresh air. Let me say something. When you get out there in nature, like
It's a great feeling. Yeah.
it just does something to you. You might get out there and be like, it's Sunday already. I gotta go
Hmm.
home, man.
Definitely. It's definitely a an uplifting in listen to this word, inspirational experience. I'm saying that intentionally because let me get a little bit nerdy with you guys. Inspirational has the word spirit, which implies breath, natural breath, divine breath. Okay. And when we go out, you know what I'm saying, we can experience that in a way that, you know, even our ancestors would have appreciated. You understand? Because this was the world that they existed in. Before you got all this mess, you know, this is the world that they existed in. I mean, and let me just get you to understand, before the adversary appeared, you didn't have the corruption of an ozone layer. You didn't hear anything about it. You didn't have the pollutions. You know, Yeah, there may have been some back and forth with different communities, but when it came to the natural world, when it came to living and coexisting with everything else, there wasn't any indifference there. You understand? There was a harmonious uh, association. Everything was seen as important, you know, or sacred, or a value of of some sense, to where people would approach things with a sense of respect. You know,
Yes.
nowadays we've kind of lost touch with that. So, you know, people kind of respond to things in a very rugged, ruthless way, almost even selfish. You understand? We take a lot of things for granted when it comes to the things we want and the things we try to obtain, and we don't really question how it came to us, what how did it get to the shelves that it's on. We make a lot of assumptions and not realize, you know, maybe even the communities of people that may have had sacrificed their effort just to make the product. You know, because some companies are shady like that. Well, they'll sit there and have, you know, impoverished people make the products that you benefit from. You understand? Or they'll take the minerals, they'll steal the minerals from one location just to make the products. You know, many of the computers, many of the things that we use, the minerals that it takes to make those come from the motherland. You understand? They come from the motherland, and often the people that are digging these up, they're not getting the proper pay for them. So maybe when you turn on your laptop or open up your smartphone, you might think that take that in consideration because much of the stuff that's in here in these smartphones came from the grounds of the motherland. Just something to think about.
And then, I mean, Pisgah National Forest, that's Cherokee land. So, you
Hmm.
know, as far as spirit and, ancestors, you never know. So, one of our ancestors might have needed to escape through one of those mountains.
Yeah.
It is very refreshing, and I can't even describe like the spiritual feeling that I feel like being in those mountains, like that whole Blue Ridge area, like Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina. That's all Cherokee. That is all Cherokee territory. So their spirit is very much there. That ground is very much sacred,
Yes.
and it's very relaxing. Being out there. So yeah, definitely it's breathtaking. The scenery is breathtaking.
And we want to be able to have that experience together as a family. Like I said, get out there. Go ahead, purchase your ticket and everything, and get a benefit. I mean, you may. I'm gonna just say it this way. Sometimes when you're in a certain environment and you're having certain experiences, you know, different. I mean, things happen. Enlightenment. Inspiration, things that you could have never obtained anywhere else, but through experience like this. You understand? So I'm saying, let this be an opportunity to. I mean, if almost in a divine way, a spiritual way that you can connect and get back to your real self, the self that connects you with the whole family. You understand? As opposed to that what we might call the ego or false sense of self that keeps us where we're too good to do anything, where we're too good to be together. You understand? And much of this has been mistaught to us by the adversary to keep us divided because we weren't like this before. You understand? We were people that, this type of thing would have been simple. This would have been a no-brainer. We would have done this naturally without even being asked. But, it's a different time. But it's like I said, I believe in us. So I believe that this isn't we're not a lost cause. You understand? And I believe we are the generation that can prove that. We're the generation that can prove that we're not a lost cause. I know you see on YouTube, it dominated by some amongst us doing some of the silliest things. But the thing about that is the wise ones amongst us can look at that and see what, like, look, we see that happening, but I'm not doing that. You understand? You don't see me doing that. We it's like we watch our own foolery and and use that as a lesson of how not to be amongst the fools. I'm just saying. So let us keep at it. Let us keep at it and continue our journey. And this is where our journey can lead. But like I said, we've got to do what we need to do. So you make sure you click that link and hold down your ticket. Um, like she said before, much time before April 1st, because like I said, what benefits we have today is different than the benefits we'd have the closer we wait till April 1st. So we want to hold down to what we can get today and get the best results. Yes, indeed, Kemet. Make sure you go ahead and peace and blessings. Make sure you go ahead and click that link, Kemet, and get your ticket held down so that you can be there with us. I want to see the family. All these people I'm always seeing shaloming me and salaming me and peace and blessings me. All these people. I want to see you at this event. You understand? We do a lot of this. I've got hundreds of over 100 or so videos, and we've been going back and forth at this. Now we have an opportunity to come together and actually put faces to words and faces to messages and stuff like that. Yeah, we don't have time for fake people. We got to keep it real. And the thing that I hope that soul journey of life attracts, if it doesn't attract anything else, is real minded, real hearts. You understand? You see, we the rough the riffraff doesn't come this way, and neither does the audience. Because you see that it's not always a big number of viewers, But like I said, when it comes to the conscious community, if you look historically, has always been smaller. In our day, I'm not talking about the ancestral history, but has always been smaller than the rest of the community. Because not everybody's trying to be on the conscious stuff. They want to be entertained and just do it like that. They don't want to elevate. Will you post the flyer? Yeah, I'm going to post the flyer. It's also in the video in the live here, so you could go back and see it. But I'll post it on IG, and I'll also post it here on my YouTube the community tab that we have. So you'll see it on the community tab, and you'll see it on IG, and of course, if you got a Soul Journey of Life account, you're going to see it there as well. Um, so yeah, make sure when you if you take that opportunity to get that flyer, pass it along, share it. Let's get the word out there because we want a significant head count. We want to get there and have the people look like what all these black folk come from. We
You
didn't know
know,
y'all get.
it is crazy because when I go camping, like
Yeah.
we don't really be out there.
Mhm.
We out there
I-
alone.
They'll be looking at
So
us like we didn't know y'all get down like this.
I'm not
Uh,
gonna say we don't go camping, but like it's very rare to go for me to show up somewhere and it just be like, oh look at that.
because like I said, most of the time, if we do go camping, it be on some entertainment stuff. It don't be on like some real. This is for real. We're fishing for fun. We're not fishing because this is about to be our meal. Little boy, little son, he takes the fish off and want to throw it back. I saw this little boy. He got. I mean, he had an enormous fish. This was on YouTube. He was so happy about it. And then I know his father had to been on like, oh, he took it off and say, okay, fishy, you could go back in the. I'm like, whoa, that was a meal for at least 2 days. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Many of us, when it comes to something like this, it'd be mostly on some entertainment, some I don't even say leisure, but just like entertainment. We just do it for fun. You understand? Not for real. And so we want to take this as an opportunity to be for real. And like the sister said, we're not. This is we don't want we don't want nothing to do with the fake. We want to be real amongst ourselves and use this as an opportunity to increase the unification, the love for to be unified, the desire to be together. Increase that. You understand? Increase that. So yes, indeed. So I'm definitely, like I said, these names that I see, coming in, these are common names. I don't know where Gary's at, but he'll probably, if he comes along, we need these brothers and sisters. Go ahead and go to that site and lock in your ticket, and not just you watching, but I know you got family. I know you guys ain't hermits living in a cave by yourself, but make sure bring the family. Bring the family along. Get them off of the couch. Put the PlayStation down just for a minute. It'll be there when you get back.
Yeah.
I know it's a PlayStation 5. You just got it last month or 2 months ago. Put it down for just a minute. You know what I mean. Bring your smartphone if you have to play whatever they got going on there.
There's a water out there. I will look into like the fishing licenses. Most of the time, if they're under 16, they don't need a fishing license. But my kids are 12. They will be there. My son will be there with his football. We'll throw the football around out there. They'll have their fishing poles out there. So,
Yeah.
it is kid friendly. Please don't be afraid to bring your kids. My
Yes,
kids
indeed.
will definitely be there.
And realize that this is a 3 day, well, two day adventure. Then you go back the next day, and then you go home. So it's not like you're moving, and this is it. Like, oh man, no, we come, we have our experience, we come together. You understand? On some family stuff, not on some cultic stuff or some crazy stuff like that, where there's somebody glowing when we get there, but on some family stuff. You understand? I'm trying to get to the point that we're coming together as equals, as family, and that's it. You know, People that have been expressing that they're about the cause, people who've been expressing that they want unification, people who've been expressing the same talk again and again and again. Let's come together. Here's yet another opportunity to come together and put our actions where our mouth is at, and your money too, by getting the ticket. Let's make it happen. Um, then you go home. Then you go home and you have this experience with you. You understand? And not just this experience. And this is not just an experience that you have where it's just a one-time thing that you did. Like we just did that, and then you know it's a fleeting moment of the past. But these are just moments of many moments to come. You understand? They're building blocks. We do stuff like this and we get inspired to do even greater things and build on to that. You understand? It's these stepping stones that get to that point. It's these stepping stones that get us motivated to do more than just be stuck in our own homes. You understand? Staring at computer screens and stuff all day long, or sitting on our couch. I mean, we spend a lot of time doing this stuff. You understand? I'm gonna show you this video, but a lot of times it's just uncanny how ill prepared we are if things were to technically take a turn for the worse. You know, through the things that we're used to using in our life, the systems, the devices. Check out this video. But if you want to take the mic just for a minute while I look for this video, it'll give me an opportunity to show the family something. Let's see here. It's just what I'm trying to do is get the family in a perspective to realize that.
I mean, it's already happening. Like,
Yeah.
Like if you Google what's happening in California, I believe it's like the trains that have like the groceries and stuff that's supposed to be supplying those, they're getting raided, and like people are taking supplies, they're taking COVID tests, the stuff that's supposed to be on the shelves of the grocery stores, they're taking that. So it just hasn't hit us countrywide yet. But can you imagine what that would look like if the truckers just parked their trucks like in the middle of the highway? It was like, yeah. We're not moving, because that's what they did. That's what they're doing in Canada. They literally parked their trucks in the middle of the roads, and they're not in the trucks. And I mean, that's not too far from here. I mean, we're all North America, and they're talking about that spreading here as well. Because look at what happened with the truckers. How they gave the trucker, they were trying to give the trucker in Colorado like 110 years for causing an accident when it was the truck's malfunction. We're very much dependent on those truckers. If they stop and they were to protest because of the mandatory vaccinations, that's what it's about. We would be in a whole world of hurt, and we already have a food shortage. We have a food shortage now. It would be even worse if something like that were to happen. I was in Walmart today, and I made a video and I posted it on my Instagram, and I was like, this is the universe talking to me, because when we walked in, it's like even Walmart trying to tell you. Yeah. As soon as I walked in the middle of the aisle, what was there? Fruit bushes, seeds for vegetables, so that you can plant your own stuff. And I was like, wow, for Walmart, to have that there as soon as you walk in, I'm like, if that's not a sign from the universe, I don't know what is. So I was telling my son, because he grows peppers. I was like, we need to just do this. Even if you get like a Tupperware, like one of those large plastic storage bins, and put dirt in it, or build your own garden box and just start planting your own fruits and vegetables, that's a start. Because if you go and buy vegetables now or fruit, like it's for blackberries, it's like $5 for a little carton. And I love blackberries. Grow your own. Like to me, walking into Walmart and seeing that message just flat in your face as soon as you walk through the door, it was like, grow your own. Here it is. Here's what you need to grow your own.
And I would encourage also to make sure, like what I do, because everybody, if you know me, if you've been watching my earlier videos, I'm into the garden tip. That's like my passion. To get into the ground, to tap into the Mother Earth. But I like to collect seeds. You understand, and have these seeds on standby, so to speak, because there could be a situation where your garden, something destroys your garden, and you're put in a predicament to move, to pick up yourself. You guys got to go, and you might have to go somewhere where you're off the grid, so to speak, and you just got to survive, and you have those seeds, you can set up, you can start it all over again and survive.
Quebec just said it must be done to support the truckers. Absolutely. These truckers must be supported. Like, we don't realize how much we depend on them. They're our lifeline. Like, they're our lifeline to everything. Like, we wouldn't get anything if it wasn't for them. So, I mean, but they're being treated so poorly, and some of them are overworked. I'm just going to go ahead and be honest. I don't like driving by trucks. I don't. They're so overworked. They're just constantly going. But we do need to support them. As far as seeds, I'm going to say I watch a lot of weird stuff on YouTube, like zombie apocalypse homes. And like, there's a person that actually zombie apocalypse their Jeep, and it was pretty dope. But one of the things that caught my eye was there are people that buy abandoned army bunkers, right? Mm-hmm. They're for sale. Like, it's a whole thing, and it's brilliant, actually. And this one woman who did it, like, in her army, and the bunker, they turned it into a house, and it was like a storage unit, and they had like over 3,000 seeds of anything that you could think to eat. They just had them like in storage bins, just seeds, nothing but seeds. It's like stuff like that. Even if you don't know anything, don't just stock up on canned goods and non-perishable. Get seeds.
Yeah. They're easy to store. They're easy to like if you're trying to pack up, they're easy to, they don't take up as much space, and their weight is different than canned goods. Okay, family. So I got this video up. Hold on, let me put the price up for those tickets again. I got this video up, and now this is from this channel is Infographics. The Infographics show. So before I do this, since this is not my channel, I'm going to put this little sign up, because this is for building purposes and educational purposes and stuff, built on that. I just want to talk about some of the things that this video is putting out there. I don't agree with everything, but this particular video, it just gives you something to think about. So let's check it out real quick. But before we do, check that out. There's your disclaimer, this, that, and the other. Okay, let's roll. And so share screen, audio, this, and share.
The internet just went down, and it's not your Wi-Fi just acting up or a local service outage. It's down everywhere around the world. What will happen next? Communication breakdown? Mass panic? Even an all-out war? Here's what will happen in the next 60 minutes as the world slowly falls apart without the internet. In the first minute of the world without the internet.
Now keep in mind, this is just an example of 60 minutes. This video is for it's 60 minutes if the internet was to go down, everywhere in the world. That's the example it's trying to give. 60 minutes if the internet were to go down.
And nothing will seem out of the ordinary. At this point, people are looking at their phones, computers, and TVs as they start to buffer or display an error message. Most are thinking that their internet is just being really slow today. Minute 2. People begin to get slightly annoyed that their electronic devices aren't working. Companies that rely heavily on internet, like Google, Amazon, and Apple, know that something is not quite right, but are still waiting for their backup servers to kick in. Minute 3. There is collective panic around the world as people realize there is something terribly wrong. Devices are rebooted, entire systems are shut down and turned back on again, but nothing works. Minute 4. Everyone holds their breath as they try to log back into social media and see what's going on. Since there is no internet, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and all other websites do not load. Minute 5. Instead of texting and using social media, people begin to dial their phones. But since modern cell networks rely on the internet to coordinate communication, even phone calls don't go through. Minute 6. People get frustrated. Phones are thrown against the walls. Computer keys are slammed down. Everyone now knows something is going on, but are not sure what the problem actually is. Minute 7. People begin to calm down. Minute 8. For those who are more level-headed, using their landline to call their friends and family to see what's happening would be the next thing that comes to their mind. This would be useless, as even the landlines are down as the central control system uses the internet to organize the transfer of information. Minute 9. TVs are turned on, and people begin flipping through channels in hopes of finding one that works. But all they get are error messages stating that there's a connection problem, and without the internet, live streaming services have gone down as well. Minute 10. People rush out to their cars or rummage through their old belongings to find a radio. Satellite radios like SiriusXM will no longer be broadcasting, as they use the internet satellites to function. But AM and FM radios will still pick up broadcasts since they use radio waves. The world listens. Minute 11. After the entire internet went down and the backup servers didn't kick in, the government and military start scrambling to find a solution. The president has been taken to a secure location until the cause of the internet crash can be determined. Minute 12. Law enforcement, fire department, and hospitals now realize this isn't just a glitch in their systems, but in every system. All available personnel are called in to help deal with the crisis. Minute 13. Due to power...
And I just want to remind everybody that's watching, remember, this is theoretically speaking. I mean, there's, just put that in perspective. But even though this is theoretically speaking, these are things that, could, when you say something's theoretical, it means it could happen like that. The point that I'm trying to show out of this video is just try to put yourself in that predicament, in this scenario, and ask yourself, how would you exist? How would you respond if the world around you is reacting like this, and this with under 60 minutes? You understand? Under 60 minutes. And imagine, you're in your own house while this is all happening. You understand? What would you be doing in response while this is all happening in the world around you? What would you be doing in response? Just try to imagine, for a moment.
See this right here? As you imagine that, you can get this from off of Amazon right now. You can get it from me or Amazon. Don't matter. 35 to 40 bucks. This is a ham radio. If all that goes down, this will still work. You could communicate with your loved ones long distance through this radio, a ham radio. Invest in one so you don't have to be going crazy or worrying about how everybody that you need to communicate with in your family should have one of these. They're not that expensive and they're easy to program. Invest in one. Seriously.
And it's perfect timing because this next part he's about to talk about, I think your mic just went. Oh, there we go. This next part you're about to talk about, or they're about to show here, is just what you're saying right now. Hold on, let me just back up just a little bit before it gets to there. Pay attention, family. Pay attention. Let's put on our thinking caps. Just for the moment. Let me go back. Shalom, Sister Okoti. Welcome. Come on in. Make sure you get that ticket. We gotta. This is round 2, Sister Okoti. Come on in. Get that ticket. Let's we gotta meet up again. All right.
Personnel are called in to help deal with the crisis. Minute 13. Due to power reserves being depleted, the electricity goes off. Much of the dissemination of electricity is done through smart grids. When the internet is down, they quickly overload. There are surges and explosions at power stations worldwide as systems either get fried or shut down. Minute 14. Some stoplights are still operational if they're on their own timers and have an independent power source, but many turn off when the power stations went down. People have begun leaving their jobs and whatever else they were doing to return home. Minute 15. Vehicle accidents happen around the world as there are fewer working signals still operational. Minute 16. Massive backups occur as people flood major highways and roads to get home. Minute 17. The beeping of emergency broadcast systems fill the sound waves as the government realizes the extent of the problem they're facing. Minute 18. People listen to the announcement that the internet has completely gone down for some unknown reason and that everyone needs to remain calm. Minute 19. No one remains calm. Minute 20. Planes are safely brought to landing as their navigation systems do not require the internet. However, some autonomous trains and vehicles have either crashed, come to a grinding halt, or run out of track as their GPS systems are connected to the internet and no longer working. Minute 21. The roar of generators fills the air as buildings and homes kick over to their own power sources. These will work for a while, but eventually will need to be replenished. Minute 22. With widespread panic setting in around the world, all law and order breaks down. Looters ransack shops and businesses. People start to panic buy food and water from every store simultaneously. There's a stampede for toilet paper. Minute 23. Fights break out at gas pumps as people try to load up on as much petrol as possible. Minute 24. Homeowners begin to barricade their doors and windows as a safety precaution, like something out of The Purge. Minute 25. At this point, businesses have been shut down except for a few lingering employees and owners whose life work lies within the company. Hospitals have lost access to their medical records, and some of the more high-tech equipment is no longer operational, but they still prepare for what's to come. Minute 26. Some people have located old TV antennas in their attic and have hooked them up to their televisions. They watch the images being broadcast as politicians try to tell everyone to stay calm and wait for the internet to come back on. Minute 27. And still, no one remains calm. Supplies are gathered from around the house or wherever people are hunkered down. Minute 28. Buildings begin to get too hot or too cold depending on the weather, as there hasn't been electricity from the grid for almost half an hour. Minute 29. Service providers around the world now realize how much trouble they're in. They get in contact with other locations using radios and emergency phone lines that are not connected to the internet. It's around this point that it's clear every server in the world is down. Minute 30. Corporations now realize how serious the situation is as their IT technicians fail again and again to bring their systems back online. There's a mad dash to back up company information. Techs run around with hard drives and flash drives, trying to rescue any data they can in case the servers never come back. Minute 31. All non-essential personnel that remained at work are sent home. Minute 32. World leaders meet with their cabinets to try and decide what the next move should be. Some have aggressive agendas, while others believe they need to stay vigilant and wait out whatever caused the chaos around them. Minute 33. The orbits of some satellites have started to degrade, to the point that they're getting dangerously close to the atmosphere. If the internet isn't restored soon and we cannot communicate with them, they will eventually burn up, alongside all of humanity's hopes for returning to normality. Minute 34. Religious leaders tell their congregants to pray. This may be the end of times. Minute 35. All transactions that were occurring at the time the internet have gone down completely failed. This means that money deposits, credit card payments, and cryptocurrency payments have all come to a halt. If anyone wants to make a purchase, they need to use cold hard cash, or like many, they'll end up grabbing whatever
Didn't I tell y'all this the last time?
Minute 36. Internet companies try to find workarounds to reroute or piggyback off different servers. Nothing works. Minute 37. Financial institutions realize that keeping their doors open will do no good. Vaults are locked, but not before some are overrun by people in a panic trying to get money out before it's all lost. Minute 38. Sirens can be heard everywhere as the police try to maintain order. EMTs try to help those who have been hurt, and the fire department rushes to keep accidental or intentional fires under control. Minute 39. Seems like all hope is lost. People were so used to having instant access to everything they wanted through the internet. Nobody knows what to do now. Minute 40. Real anxiety begins to set in as the addiction to phones and the internet starts to hit people like having withdrawals from an addictive drug. They can't reach their friends and family. Access to news and information is limited. Minute 41. Many people retreat from the outside world and rock slowly back and forth, trying to cope with an internetless reality.
Not
Minute
the
42.
VCR.
People breathe a sigh of relief as they realize the stress of work and the demand to always be answering phone calls, emails, and texts is now gone. Minute 43.
That would be me.
Start to think, maybe this isn't so bad. Minute 44. Internet going away parties are organized and there are massive turnouts of people who celebrate the fact that there is no more internet. Minute 45. The government has figured out the cause of the internet going down, but at this point it doesn't much matter. They need to act first and worry about the reason later. They've been trying to reach their allies, but with limited access. Every military branch is put on high alert. War may be coming. Minute 46. Intel agencies rush to collect hard copies of files that may be useful during wartime. Minute 47. Old radio broadcast towers are brought back online
To be clear, we have never been accused of being flashy, sexy, or lit.
James Bond right there.
try and send messages to more rural areas that might not be receiving any information about what's happening. Minute 48. Almost everyone is now aware that the problem plaguing the world is that the internet has gone down. Minute 49. There's a second wave of panic as new people find out how bad things have gotten. Minute 50. Economies begin to crumble. We live in a global market, but without the internet, this whole infrastructure comes crashing to the ground.
No
Minute
trading.
51. Bankers and stockbrokers try to keep Wall Street from crumbling, but under the chaos of not being able to communicate with the outside world or receive data on what is happening, there is a fire sale, plus actual fires, and in an instant, the world economy implodes in on itself. Minute 52. Military personnel and assets are directed to return home in order to protect their nations. Minute 53. Scientists, engineers, and programmers work frantically to try to figure out any way to get the internet back online. Minute 54. People find their Game Boys and play video games the old-fashioned way to get their fix and pass the time. Minute 55. Most people are either already home or will never make it home because of accidents and the unintended consequences of mass panic. They still hold their cell phones in their hands, hoping that the world will return to normal. They watch the staticky screens or listen to the radio in horror as the world crumbles around them. Minute 56. With no intel of what's going on in the world, certain countries mobilize their military and prepare for all-out war. Governments start blaming one another. Troops are sent to borders ready to defend or fight. Minute 57. Young people turn their electronic devices off and back on again in hopes that this will magically restore normalcy. Minute 58. Adults remember a time without the internet, but it was so long ago, and now they aren't sure if they're ready to go back to that life. Minute 59. Older generations sit quietly with a book, most likely on a rocking chair, enjoying the stillness that left the world long ago with the invention of the internet. Minute 60. The internet going down created mass panic. However, it's up to everyone as an individual to decide how far the chaos will go. It's important to remember that this is an extreme scenario and some countries rely much less on the internet than others. But in this hypothetical doomsday scenario, things could go very bad very fast. But could the internet ever actually go completely down? Theoretically, it is possible, but incredibly unlikely. It's because the internet is not all housed in one place, but across different servers around the world. The EMP from something like a solar storm could cause the entire internet to go down. But if the storm was that powerful, we'd have bigger problems than losing the internet, like losing our atmosphere. Even if servers go down, there are always others to pick up the slack. So it's highly unlikely the internet would.
All right.
So about the internet, I mean, China and both Russia have both threatened that they could flip the switch on us at any moment. So
Right.
it is not highly improbable that something like that can happen. In fact, one of the biggest things that they're worried about with this war between Russia and Ukraine is that Russia can just hit the switch on, gas, and half of Europe won't have gas. We have to think about how that's going to affect us too. I mean, our fuel prices are already going up as it is. So
like one of the things that a reason why I wanted to show that is because when you think about, just like, I mean, that somebody might say, well, that's an extreme scenario. It's a possible scenario, like the sister was saying, solar flares, solar energy, things like that could take place and just knock the whole thing off grid if powerful enough. But even like the commentator said in that feed, if there was a strong enough flare, we'd have more problems to worry about than just the internet being off the grid. But think about think about why it's important that these truckers do what they are doing. What's important about that? You understand? What is being communicated by them doing that way? But on the flip side, think about the consequences. You understand? You have to understand, it's like if someone took your blood vessel, your artery, and put one hand on one end of it, you understand, to where they stop the flow of blood. Your fresh blood that's going to the heart, that's going to your pulmonary artery or whatnot to take up oxygen, is going to stop. There's not going to be anything going to your heart and your lung to gather more oxygen. Eventually, even if that's just for, let's say, 60 minutes, like the example used in the video, even if that was just for 60 minutes, it's going to cause some issues, with your whole anatomy, even just for 60 minutes of cutting off the flow of blood to your heart. Why am I using that example? Some things may not have an immediate effect, like right there on the spot, but the effect will still come. we're not seeing it just yet. We're seeing something of it, like little sentiments of it. Much of this was already taking place before the truckers. But what I'm saying is that on top of everything that's already going on, you understand, it's going to be a dramatic effect. And it's like this: when you have a certain type of civil unrest, you understand, and you've got rich people who, because you got to understand, when I'm talking about rich, I'm talking about elites who are controlling these militaries, who are controlling these armed bodies. You understand? The people have the voice of the people is legit. They're complaining about real things that are going on that's not being resolved, by their governments. You understand? And or their governments are putting something on them that's not, justified. And that's what the truckers are complaining about. You're trying to force us to do something against our will that, one, we don't even trust it in anyway. It's bogus anyway. And we know that it's bogus, but you're trying to force it on us no matter what. So here's what we're going to do. I'm saying this for this reason. Eventually that's going to irritate elites. And elites do what they always do. You may not realize it, but when we were thriving in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and things like in cities like that, that was affecting their economy. That was affecting the way they're used to live. I'm talking about the black communities. When we were being successful, that was affecting the way the rich people, the elite people's economy worked. So they felt some kind of way about that, and they said, "Well, look, we got to do something about it." And so they would raid, they would, harass. If that didn't work, okay, well, our raiding, our harassing's not working. We just got to take them out and keep it off screen. When elite people start to be, when what we do as regular folks start to affect elite people, then you need to beware. You need to take alarm, because that affecting them is going to mean that they're going to retaliate.
So here's just the thing. They're already affected.
Yeah.
They're already affected. Like I said, we are behind the curve as far as when it comes to living off grid. Living off grid disrupts their systems because you're no longer lining their pockets. So self-sustaining, self-reliance, they want, that's why they give you breadcrumbs, because they need you to keep, they need to keep you. So they're already agitated.
And
they're already agitated. Like I said, they've already put out a press release that people that are what we're talking about doing, things that are that is already happening in other communities. Like there is a large number of people. It's called homesteading. They're already living off grid, and there are quite a few blacks in the Atlanta area that are also pushing living off grid, and that is problematic. And when you talk about living off grid, like I said, you become an enemy of the state. There's many lines that have been drawn, and we're already in a conflict. Some people are just walking around in a bubble and refuse to recognize it. You have the vaccinated, versus the unvaccinated. You have people that are trying to live outside of the matrix, versus people that are comfortable being inside of the matrix. Then you have them inciting race wars, right? Because hell, how can you survive if you're fighting each other, right? So, I mean, again, that's what this is it's all about. It's not stuff that's probably going to happen. It is happening already.
Right.
It's happening already. They're putting press releases out. They're letting you know they are preparing for war against you, us. Like I posted on my page, it's going to be the U.S., us versus us. And when I say us, I'm not just talking about black people. No. Humanity, period. Like I said, we're the only group of people we're the only race of people that are not out there, like other races are. They're already doing it. They are living off grid. They are living out in the woods. They like I had Brother Questman Google the last time we were on a live. Google bushcraft and see who you see. Keep scrolling down, like they've been doing this. And that is problematic for the government, because if you're not putting money into the economy, that's the only way that the economy can keep operating. We're the oil that makes it work.
If like these truckers, and not just these truckers, but even other communities and other people who recognize the cause and effect behind this, I think that while it's going to have some repercussion, and it's having repercussion that you're seeing manifesting now, it takes resources, it takes financing for anything to happen. If the elite don't have this financing in a certain amount of time, it's just like I was saying, if you're connected to an oxygen tank and you hold that for long enough, eventually the person's going to choke to death. You understand? But you got to be willing to cut that off long enough for the choking to happen of the elites. You do that long enough, the elites will choke and they will collapse. You understand? If you look historically, I think I've shared with in some other lives where empires have fallen just because of that, not because of anything externally. One of the countries that's in the limelight today is Turkey. That's how Turkey used to be an empire called the Ottoman Empire. That's how the Ottoman Empire collapsed. Literally, they didn't collapse because of anything from the outside. All of what destroyed them, you know what I'm saying, long before World War II, when they got themselves involved in that, in World War I, long before that, they were already corrupting inside, you understand, from the people, you understand, from, the different institutions being choked by the people, and they weren't able to get, any more funding and any more resources. There weren't enough, so they collapsed. When people say that the power is with the people, they're telling you the truth. You understand? But because many of us are so draped off in the illusions and in the fantasies and in the fictions that we see, we don't realize that we keep on flowing back to these folks like drones, like mindless entities, and feeding their cycle all over again because we think that's the right thing to do, or that's the way it's supposed to be. But if you had a significant number of influential in the sense that when they speak, they do. Their words and actions are synonymous with each other, making a difference. And here, real quick, the other thing that's venomous to this is intelligent people. You know what I'm saying? People with breakthroughs. You know what I'm saying? Whoever did this truck idea, in a sense, that's a breakthrough. Because that was something that people were like, oh, if we do this, this is what's going to happen. And look, they got whole bridges from up here in Michigan, that little part that goes into Canada, all
blocked
trucks. Nobody could do it. Just brake, put the club in, and go take a walk.
And here's the thing: we need those trucks. Those are trucks that come here. We need that stuff. But again, it's not. I won't be surprised in the next 6 months if truckers here started doing the same thing.
They're already in I think it's France that's already picking it up. So people, here's the thing. The people, when I'm talking about the people, again, it's not even just us as Black family, but the people, just humans trying to exist who are sick of the games, so who are just sick of the way things are being all across the world. When they see something works, you understand, they're going to implement it too. Like they say, oh, it's been days now and these trucks are still there. It's working because they can't move these trucks. They haven't been able to move these trucks. Not everybody knows how to drive trucks.
Not unless you tow them, and they don't have enough
tow trucks.
They don't have enough tow trucks to tow them.
They showed up and basically, dapped the truck drivers like, don't worry about it. We got this too. We got your back. They showed up, and then so if the tow truckers aren't helping out, the message that's being sent to these elites, you can't make us do anything. If we put our heads on tight, if we screw our heads on tight, you can't make us do anything. You understand?
Here's just the domino effect of that. So
Yeah.
So the truck drivers
It
do
needs to
that.
sacrifice it.
The truck drivers do that. Then you don't have
Yeah.
produce or products going into the grocery store. Then you have, then you have to shut down grocery stores. You shut down grocery stores, people start losing jobs. If you don't have it's a trickle effect. Things are gonna start until no one has a job. So we cannot buy ourselves out of a job. And at the end of the day, if there's no economy, nobody has a job, what are you going to do?
Right.
How are you going to survive?
And then that's where, where forms of anarchy show up, forms of, I don't know if you ever seen any type of movie or any type of scenario where, I mean, literally, people are doing whatever it takes just to survive. You understand? And I'm trying to think of what this was, but there was these people who literally started attacking each other. Not because they were fighting, but because they were hungry. You understand? They were starved, and they had no other way. So they ended up trying to eat each other, and died like that. You understand? They ended up dying. My point is that when people reach an extreme of desperation, you understand, where the things that they're used to having no longer exist, like we just saw in the video, their behaviors change. You understand? The way you are today, in your comfort zone. I mean, this is anybody. And certain natures start coming out that, I mean, really take things to a whole nother level of existing. So yeah, when I mean this is a strong voice being heard with the truckers and stuff, but for us regular folks and even those lower, it's a major sacrifice type thing. You understand? People will suffer. People will suffer, and when people suffer enough, they start resorting to means of extreme means to survive.
It's gradually getting there.
Yeah.
There's every time I go grocery shopping, my kids eat meat. There's you can barely get chicken. So
And
there's a lot of people that are already not in the grocery store already. You think it's going to be hard to get toilet paper, like there's barely food in there. I went in there. I did my grocery shopping last week, and they didn't even have coffee creamer.
Wow.
Coffee creamer.
That's no good.
No coffee creamer. Like I literally had to drive around stores just to find
coffee creamer.
And that, I mean, it's already happening. It's just not severe enough for it to be impactful.
Have you ever there was some people talking among the politicians about zombie wars, right?
They're already training for it.
Yeah. Let me put something else out there. Remember what that guy in the White House just did? You understand? Just offered society, the black community, because he really cares about the black community so much that he wants to start passing out crack pipes.
He wants to bridge the racial inequality. He wants more. He wants the white and the black crackheads to just be in the middle of the street with their crack pipes.
If everyone was zombies in the community, those are real live zombies for you. I don't know if you've grown up in the inner city, the hood, you understand, you know how crack fiends roll. And these are and these aren't something you could just shrug off. And these are the type of people, if you do pop them, they're going to get right back up and keep on chasing you down, because they got.
Here's what's crazy though. If you are a black woman, any kind of woman, you don't even have to be black, and you're in pain, they do not want to give you opioids in the hospital because it is a huge opioid crisis. But they will distribute some crack pipes. So, in other words,
wow,
COVID ain't killing you Negroes.
We're gonna get this crack up in your system again. Spread it around, spread the wealth, socialize. That's what I mean. It's insane. If you look at the uncanny timing of everything, this all I'm saying, family. Look at the world abroad, here and abroad, right in your face and abroad, and look at everything that's happening, and realize they're not separate entities. They're not separate. They're not unrelated. You understand? Everything is interwoven and related and connected to each other event going on in our time. You understand? And they're all having a continual effect in our lives. So from the crack pipe, which is obviously going to increase the zombies. You understand? And I'm not just talking about there, but understand all the jabites. You understand what I mean by the jabites, right? That means all those who willingly, conformed to that jab. You're going to have whatever effect that brings about. You understand? Because it will bring about it will manifest. See, the thing about lies is that the truth that they're hiding, that they're concealing, will manifest. It will show up to be what it is. And you see that they're adamant about keeping these lies hidden, because when one of their own people speak out and say something, they were enraged. How dare you say this? And so they try to expose all of his racist antics. I'm talking about I think his name is Joe, right?
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. You know, he says something, they were enraged at the fact that he had the nerve to expose something to this nature.
And he said some things, but guess what? I'm not here to defend what he said.
Mhm.
The man has apologized, but has he been? It's just mighty crazy that he's been one of the bold ones using his platform.
Million, I think he had million subscribers or something.
And they went and pulled. They were like, "Well, you know what? We'll get him canceled. Let's make the black people angry. We're always the pawns and everything." So they like, "Yeah, let's bring up some old videos where he got dropped off in Philly. He felt like he was in Planet of the Apes."
Yeah.
Now, come on, every black person saying getting mad at him, like when you
that shows you how important we.
Wait a minute though. Let's not act like when we're in a predominantly white place, we're like, "Oh my God, it's a whole bunch of mayonnaise in here." Now, somebody, filmed us saying that and then putting it on full blast to embarrass us. It's the same thing. So you can't get mad at somebody for having a moment and maybe making an inappropriate joke. Like I said, I'm not defending him what he says, but the man is bold enough to use his platform to try and wake people up, like about these.
Well, see, I see it. I see it that way. Also, I see it like, okay, he's speaking to his audience in the language that they talk. That's them. I mean, whether we like it or not, that's like us walking into one of their houses in the middle of a conversation. They're doing them. Okay. If I'm in their environment, then I'm putting myself in the predicament to hear whatever they're talking about. But this isn't even about that. They're trying to make it about that, but it's not even about that. It's about the fact that he opened his mouth about their shenanigans, and they don't.
They did that to assassinate his character.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, you're not sitting here talking about what is her name, Ghislaine Maxwell, and how she was pimping out kids.
Wow.
You're not talking about that. Y'all want to, drag Joe Rogan's name through the mud because he's telling people not to get vaccinated.
Pointing at us in many ways. Their attacks, their brutalities, their raiding of the motherland, their things that many of us that are alert and conscious already know. But it's becoming louder and louder every time that something, that meaningful moments for us as a people come about. We get examples of them doing stuff regarding us, like the election, the selecting of the judge, the black judge. They say I sound muffled. I don't know. I bumped my mic a minute ago. Like the selection of the black judge, sister. On and on and on. In every scenario, you got these elements that have something to do with them trying to affect our emotions.
We're
You understand?
pawns, and those
Yeah,
are breadcrumbs. They've
yeah,
been giving us breadcrumbs ever since, we thought we were free from slavery. Those ain't nothing but breadcrumbs, something to pacify us and keep us happy, to make us think that we're making some headway, but it
right.
means nothing.
Does my mic still sound muffled now? Testing what? Well, actually, it's not this mic I'm using. I'm using this mic. Okay. How about this? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. How do I sound?
You sound
It's
okay.
still muffled. Okay, because I think it might have been against my cheeks, so that's why it sounded muffled. But yeah, you're definitely right. But it does show something to me that I've mentioned many times and talked about many times, that I feel in my in based upon not just my heart, as we would say spiritually, but in all of what I'm observing, that the solution is going the solution is us to this whole equation that's going on in the world. The solution, the remedy, is in us. As I'm talking about black folks now. I'm not saying that to put us on a pedestal. You understand? But look at it this way, just so you can understand that it's not essentially a black issue per se, but rather an issue of good versus evil. You understand? Something like that. I'm gonna use that way. Of good or agreeable versus disagreeable, good versus evil. But the solution just so happens to be, because of the nature of us and our origin and all that, what that means. The solution is in that which started it all off anyway. You understand? Black folk. You understand? The origin of humanity, the origin of humanity, and so on. Um, so when you dig into that, look into the attacks that are directed towards us directly. Look at the forms of disillusionment, the forms of manipulation that we've talked about, where they try to arouse our emotions from ones like Joe or this or that and the other. All these different games that are being played, they keep on being played, targeting one group of people. When you look at when you hear that man in that house talk, there's always a good portion of it that's only talking to one group of people, us. Not anybody else, not the Chinese people, not the Mexicans, not the nobody else. But us. You understand? So it lets me know that, one, and many of us, unfortunately, we're not as aware of the adversary as we should be. But they know, they're clearly aware of what can take them down. You understand? They're clearly aware of what um, can put a stop to their objective. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that the solution to,
We may be a part of the solution, but
I would say, the core.
we we're definitely pawns in the game. We are the catalyst,
Yeah.
so to speak. Right now they have a big problem, and the problem is, they're at war with, their own,
Yeah.
right? Now imagine if we got on the same thing that the people that they're drawing these lines against, anti-government people.
Hmm.
Imagine if we were on that side of the fence. So see, that's why there has to be some kind of a race war that's going on right now. They have to keep the
They have
races
to keep the
at
pieces
odds.
apart.
They have to keep the races at odds, like, this is your enemy, da 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 da. And I'm not
Yeah.
even going to sit here and say that every white person is the enemy, because I wouldn't
Right.
want
Right.
someone white to say, well, every black person is a thug, right? There are some white people out there that, like I said, what they're doing is very disruptive to the elites. And if the blacks got on board and started doing what they were doing, which is what we were doing originally,
Yeah.
they have a big problem. They have a big problem. Like if black people will wake up and realize, look, they told y'all were savages for living a certain way, and then flip the script on y'all and went and lived the way that they told y'all was wrong.
Right.
Because the way we were living didn't rely on capitalism. You want to know what our monetary was in the homeland? This right here. Cowrie shells.
Okay, let's build on that just for a second. Let me share a story since you've got this sacred name for your company, Sekhmet of Survival, Sekhmet in particular. Let's go back into an ancient story real quick that I want to break bread. Before I do that, hold on a second. Let me share the screen because I want the screen to be showing so that we are alert to what the deal is. So that we are alert to what the deal is, let's share this window. Boom. All right, see that? And then I can go down here and do like that. Wow. Okay. Because that's our bottom line for today, family. Here's the story. Okay. This is the point that I wanted to get at when I was talking about us, the solution coming from us. It's not. This isn't a putting us on a pedestal type of thing, but think of it like a body, as all humanity being a part of a body. Okay. In this story, we have a character known as Asar, right? And Asar had various companions. His closest companion being Aset, like his wife. The adversary slash associate was known as Set. Right now, we're dealing with a situation where we see Set fighting amongst himself. Okay, Set having a personality that's very linear, very lines and squares type personality. Okay, whereas Asar was more abstract and sort of saw things in a very uh broad way, you understand, more intricate way, rather than the parts and pieces. Well, anyway, Asar was the authority of the time. Okay, but understand this. Imagine you have a boat, and on that boat, you see Set at the front of it, not as the leader of the boat, but as the navigator. Okay, you see Asar in the position of a captain. You understand, much like your body. In the case of your body, what you see, you have a brain, you have a heart. These are only two parts of your body because you have lung, liver, spleen, arms, legs, head, and so on. But the most important functionaries of your body is your heart and brain. But it needs everything else. It needs the lungs, it needs the spleen. If any of these things shut down, havoc takes place, right? So in this case, the central unit, or the centralized unit, or the core, being the heart, Asar. In this particular story, you have Asar, ruling justly across the land, and at some point, Set became envious of this, and did not want to continue embracing the position he held. You understand? And so he looked at Asar's position and said, well, look, I've got to find a way to manipulate Asar so that I can basically hijack his position. So it got to the point where he started to fight Asar and, took the life of Asar. And this, greatly upset, his Asar's companions, even to the point where his wife was not too happy about it. What made her more upset was how Set took the life of Asar. Not just any way. He wasn't satisfied with, oh, you're dead, and off he goes. No. But he decided to disassemble the parts of Asar and cast it all across, listen carefully, all across the world. Mm-hmm. All kinds of pieces here, pieces there, pieces everywhere. But there was one piece that, he decided to cast into the stream. Okay. Right. The phallus of Asar.
Right.
So this piece, Set his wife knew was vital, very important, and key to the continuation of the authority, or the house, if you would, of Asar. So she went about, and everybody went. The objective being to find all the pieces of Asar and bring it back together. Notice I'm saying everybody else, all the companions. Heru, Tahuti, you name it. All of them was
Now, Haru wasn't born at that time. It was
Heru wasn't born.
it was Niptus. It was Niptus. It was Asar. It was Ampu.
Yeah.
They went and found and those three are the core people that put Asar
back together. They
together again.
They were all charged with doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and in particular, Aset was able to find the phallus of Asar, and including she was able to extract from said phallus the seed. You understand? And with that seed, she was able to have a miraculous impregnation. You understand? Which I know many of you. There's another story that sounds very much like this. I wonder why, but
and there's a deeper side of that. It just depends on how deep you are into commit. I mean,
yeah.
When it comes to that story, I mean, because we could tell the story, but at the end of the day, again, this is deeper into commit.
Yes, it is.
Set's reason for wanting to destroy Asar had more to do with ego, power,
yes.
And I mean, depending on what the story you want to believe, Haru was not the firstborn of Asar.
Right. Okay.
He's the firstborn.
Now, the reason why I wanted to share that story was I want to use the symbolisms because, as you mentioned, it's a very, I mean, if we look at like what Tony Browder built on it, Anthony Browder and many of the like who've built on this story, it's very extensive. It's heavy, man. It's really pages and pages where they build on the story. And the story, you look at the size of the story when it's told, it's really a small, like almost like a paragraph. You understand? Like a few paragraphs that make up that story.
Because it was all you could interpret.
Yeah. In our time. So when I'm talking about us being a solution to something, one of the symbolisms that Asar had when when he's resurrected, when he's brought back together and brought back to life, is being a key to the next stage of being. You understand? The next stage of existing. You understand what we might call hereafter or afterlife. Okay, and so that was his key. Now, what I'm saying here is I'm using the symbolism of Sar and its broken pieces to represent us as the black family. You understand? Because literally, we're broken up into pieces. You understand? We're spread all over the earth. But us right here, right in this land, we represent a special seed. You understand? That that seed of continuation. If you look at all the other people that are spread all over the world, where do they keep on looking at? For example, where do they keep on looking at for a pattern for basically the go call? You understand? They keep looking at us over here.
And that's just the thing. Like we reckon there's civilizations all around the world that are coming out and blatantly admitting, yes, we got this from Africa.
Yeah.
That's a given. At the end of the day, is it up to us to help? It's not just all races will look towards us because nothing will be balanced until everything is brought back underneath the order of Ma'at.
Yeah.
We won't have balance. And that's just it. And that's why we're pawns. That's why, we don't know who we are. And that's why they can, control us with these different religions or whatever the case or whatever fear tactics, that they can. But since we are talking about Sekhmet, When Ra was just at his wits, like, you know what, I'm just gonna unleash the beast on you.
Yeah.
And she was more of when you talk about the Red Sea, the sea is red because of her. So to speak, if if you're into Kemetic spirituality and the secret of Sekhmet, but at the she's the goddess of war, so she can bring destruction or she can bring peace, but she is sent by Ra, and Ra is the sun. So at the end of the day, we all need balance. We need balance. And as humanity, we need to survive and bring everything underneath Ma'at. Restore everything back up underneath Ma'at.
Yes, indeed. And I believe that part of that balance is, and this is the understanding the what we have going on as humanity right now. It's dealing with the concept of salvation and things like that. The salvation is the restoration of that ma'at that you're talking about. And it implies that truth must be observed across the board. In other words, the manipulation, the lies, the illusions, when you see like people, like different countries looking into their museums and saying, hey, we got to give these things back, talking about like their artifacts and whatnot. How do we give these things back? What's inspiring them to do this? What's inspiring these different communities who have been a part of oppressive,
their spirits are like, that's our ancestors.
Yeah.
Their spirits are tortured. They recognize who we are. Many of us don't recognize,
But they're trying to get in good while they can, by these symbolic gestures to say, look, we know who you are, and we know we know what our account is. You understand? And we want to try to remove and distance ourselves as much as possible from the things that our ancestors and that many of our kinfolk nowadays have been putting you through. Because when things go in the flow that they're going, and you're placed back on your throne, you understand? When you're placed back in a position of honor, I'm talking about, okay, you will be in a position to be able to command and affect. You understand?
They want mercy. They want mercy.
Exactly. They want mercy. They want mercy. So that's what I'm saying here, family. I mean, I know we kind of got, on a spiritual flow, but sometimes this is what we need. We need to dig into these different lanes, these different parts of the tree. You understand? Because, when you eat a meal, you're not just going to sit there and eat the greens. You understand? There's the bread. There's the fruits. You understand? You want to consume all parts of the dish. So that's what happened here just now. So we just went deep. We went in deep. But let's be mindful of what we're talking about here. For those that came in viewing and for those that have been viewing, I want to make sure that you guys are conscious of and you tap into that link that you see pinned there, because that link is your ticket to participating into the conscious camping, which is the bottom line of today's talk. We want to get as much participation from the family, those who would participate, in on this, so that you're part of the head count when we get ready. Let's see here. Every time they see our ignorance, I'm looking at what Black Power Intellectual Council is saying. Every time they see our ignorance, it's a reflection of their crime against us. You're right, because they are the ones who engineered our ignorance through slavery and oppression and colonialism. You understand? Yeah, I agree, but I can't. A good portion of blame is there, but I have to go and dig in a little deeper, because we ourselves must look in the mirror and hold ourselves to a great deal of account, because a lot of what Understand what brought them into being. You understand? Understand where they came, how they came. You understand? And where they got their knowledge from, and who gave them their knowledge, and who warned us against giving them knowledge, the type of knowledge we gave. We opened up a Pandora's box, ancestrally speaking. We opened up a Pandora's box, even though we had been warned against them time and time again, and now we are reaping what we've sowed. It's not a hopeless, and here we are on a bounce back. You understand? We're on a bounce back, and those people, like she's talking about, and like you're talking about there, they are aware of what they've been doing, and many of them are trying to backpedal, but some of them are trying to position themselves on the right side of this battlefield, if you would. So that way, like she said, they're under mercy, they're under favor. So it's big, man. It's very big. But I'm going to say this: I would like to have these type of conversations more so around campfire. You dig? So I'm saying to you, go ahead, make sure you tap into that link right there, get your ticket, purchase your ticket, so that way we could have these type of conversations and more in the peace of our own environment, amongst our own self. Where we could break bread with the comfort of not being YouTube monitored and or whatever. We can have our own conversation. You understand? But in order for that to happen, you need to do what you need to do. Get up off your couch and get that ticket so we can get there. You see the date. You see the date right there. You go into that link and you'll get more details. And right here you see the itinerary for what we intend for that date. You see it on the screen there. So let us do more than talk about it. Like I said, we could build all day long and go in deep. Sister went in deep on y'all, didn't even see it coming. So I'm just saying, we could get in deeper. Make sure that you do what you need to do, Black family. Yeah, our choices. Some of us choose to remain ignorant. Yeah, I call that willful ignorance. That means that you have the ability to learn and obtain more knowledge, but you refuse for whatever the reason. Sometimes people's reasons because they're attached to certain things that they don't want to let go of, because they fear that if they let go of that, whatever they're going to encounter, it might be worse, or they might be at loss. It's like death. Many people fear death because this minute small scratch of existence that we're living right now on this level of life, they fear that what is to come next is less than or worse than, and not something favorable. You understand? More beneficent. You understand? They have these illusionary fears. So yeah, waking up is not something that everybody's willing to do. You understand? It's not something that everybody's willing to hop on board. Waking up, there is a fear.
Well, they keep us in a sleepy state, because I just posted enter. Back then in Kemet, we didn't have vowels.
Mm-hmm.
And consonants. Enter is nothing but nature. That's all it means. When they said netters, when they were saying netters and netteroos, those are God
Yes,
and goddesses
indeed.
of nature. Like, until we get back to us, until we get back out into nature, they're already out in nature.
Yeah.
We have to get back to us.
Yes, indeed. So Black Power, intellect.
When we get back out in nature, that's when we'll start getting that more spiritual downloads, and we can build us up. But
Yes,
we need
indeed.
to get back out into our natural element.
Let's do this. Wow, we took this. We we went in on this one.
3 hours, darn near.
Back when we was at the 2 hours, I was about to tap out. I was like, okay, I think we said what we needed to say, and then we just went on a whole. We just went on a whole nother level. We started climbing there for a bit. And that's what we have to do. We do what we have to do. So there you have it, family. I put it back up there, conscious camping, April 8th to April 10th. You understand? If you're about it, if you're really trying to, do things together, you understand, do, constructive, meaningful activities together, then this is yet another opportunity for that to happen. This is your opportunity to get about your house, set that date, set your clock, set your timer, get your ticket ready, get your bus ticket ready, get your, whatever, your plane ticket ready, whatever you got to do, get it together, get your bags, your backpack together, your essentials, your necessities, get it together and get ready to go. You understand? Get ready to go. Show up. Make this be one of those things that you show up and we see like, oh, that's how you know who's real in the situation. I'm just letting you know when people show up that like, oh man, I didn't even expect they was gonna be. You start realizing who's real in the picture versus the people who were just on here, you know, uh, being entertained and I don't know, maybe they're even agents or something just watching. You know what I'm saying? Seeing us on the sideline, like what are they talking about? What are their plans? You understand? Remember when Malcolm X was talking about how he was over there, and every time in the distance he saw some people just kind of peeking around at him, like, what are you doing, agents? So we got to be mindful of all that, but at the same time, we can't be afraid. We got to do what we know we got to do. You understand? And being together, building together, is essentially amongst what we have to do because that's what breaks the ice. That's what builds the solutions to our problems that egg us today. So now we're at another point. I see that perhaps we've said what we needed to say. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to X that off. And by the way, y'all see my emails in the link there. So like I said, if there's questions or anything that you need to ask about the tickets or events and all that, just build with us because like I said, it's a lot more comfortable to talk to you and communicate directly off of this social media than everything here. You understand? These are things we need to learn as a community in order to be able to operate properly. That everything isn't for YouTube, everything isn't for IG. You understand? These are just general, platforms for general discussion, and we limit it to that. Um, so get at us, get your ticket fast. In fact, we want to try to get these things before even this month ends, so that way we get in where we can get good. Um, Your sister, is there anything you want to say in conclusion to this?
I look forward to seeing y'all. That's all.
Mhm. Yes, indeed. Likewise, the same for
Let's show
me.
up.
hmm Show up, and like I said, be ready to bond. Be ready to strengthen ties of kinship. Um, so with that said, family, we're going to draw this to a close. I'm trying to make sure that I got all the banners out that communicate the information. There you see camp packages are $80 per ticket, and the date, conscious camping date, is April 8th to April 10th. And as you see at the bottom of the screen, this is yet another opportunity. I misspelled opportunity. How that happened? For the family to get together and be constructive together. All right. So let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. And if, like I said, if you need more of what you need to be equipped, make sure you stop by segmentofsurvival.com because you can get it right there. And if you're looking for the hygienics and whatnot, make sure you stop by souljourneyoflife.org/the shops and get it. Get it while it's good. Um, excuse me there. And as far as this live is concerned, for those that missed the watching, just you know share this with them. Make sure you share this and pass it around. Get up off your couch and get your family together and make sure that they're coming down with you. You understand that they're coming with you, and stay tuned. For more updates as they come. But get your ticket ASAP. All right. Um. Boom. There's that. We can stop the sharing. Let's see here. What did I close? There we are. All right. So, family, I hope that was informative as it could possibly be, and hopefully, we even got some jewels from what we've been building going. As you see, we're a deep family. We ain't on no slow stuff. We ain't on no no you know ground level stuff or whatever. We like to ascend a bit and get us there, take us there every now and then. Keep our dome lit, keep the light on. Um, Dear sister, it was a pleasure having you with us again. And the hope is that we get this together and we could break bread with our family in North Carolina, April 8th to April 10th.
I am looking forward to seeing you guys. Thank you for having me once again.
Yes, indeed. And peace and blessings be with you, or as they might say, Hotep.
Peace and blessings.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, family. So there you have it. I'm not going to hold you too much longer. Just to let you know that this is your brother, Abdul Dude, aka Questman. You know what you need to do right away to prepare yourself for April 8th to April 10th. And that being to go ahead and click that links. That is souljourneyoflife.org/support the cause. And then you will take a look at, let me show you in case. I'm going to show you what you could do. There's two ways you could do this. The easiest way is simply to click that link, and that'll take you right to the page. Let's see here. That's the easiest way. The other way is if you have a Soul Journey of Life account or not, you could just take a look at this. And look at where you see my arrow. There's my arrow. There's the flyer right there. And by the way, I'll post the flyer up both on YouTube and on IG so you guys can have that flyer and share it, pass it around, chop it down, pass it all around. You go over here when you're on the when you come to Soul Journey of Life, you can see that there's a side panel right here. Look at the link, the button that says or the link that says support the cause. You click that, and when you click support the cause, it'll take you to a page that looks like this. And here you see there are two options. There's one where you can support Soul Journey of Life and become a supporter of the platform. And there's this right here where you see it say Conscious Camping, Davidson River, Pisiga National Forest, North Carolina. And this is the one that you want to use to get your ticket, $80, or you can give more. Put your comment there and continue to fill out the form. And be ready come the week of the week of April. Be ready to get the info. Well, you'll have the information in advance regarding the where to go, what to go, how to meet, and all that kind of stuff. All that information will be made available once you go through the steps. So boom, there's that. And that's all I have for you now, family. With that said, I'm going to say, Salam alaikum, shalom, hotep, peace be with you, and have a blessed rest of your day. This is Soul Journey of Life, Thelightdome. Keep it light, keep the light on. Take care.
Light.